That was the craziest landing we've ever had. Jake is still not okay. I'm not okay. This is Telluride, Colorado, and it's known to have one of the most challenging airports to fly to. My husband Jake and I decided to fly out there in our Cirrus SR22 Turbo.
Here are segments of our trip into the mountain range with our two dogs. Welcome to our YouTube channel, Elevate.
When flying from Wisconsin to Colorado, it's ideal to leave early in the morning, so you can get to Colorado before noon. After noon, the winds tend to pick up.
So we fueled the airplane, loaded up the luggage, and I tugged everyone out.
Pip and Baxter are our two poodles, and we take them everywhere.
Got a little icing and cloud cover up straight ahead at our 12 o'clock. So we're going to divert south a little bit and just try to skim it along here. So to do that, we true up our heading bug. Okay, heading bug is set at 264. Put this in heading mode so autopilot is flying with the heading bug, and now just turn it to the left a little bit. And then we're gonna watch and see how much we should divert here.
Our airplane has a rating called flying into known icing, but at the time of this video, I was not rated to fly legally into known icing.
And that looks right about good. Alright, so Pip is a little mountain climber back here. She climbed up on the pile of skis and snowboard. Bubs is hanging out in the bed. Alright, so we tried climbing up to 10,500. And that just made things worse. Now we have a 47 knot headwind, which is equivalent to, say, 55 mile an hour winds, just basically straight at us. So our ground speed is only 122 knots, which is terrible. So we are going to drop back down.
89 Stardust on the left, full time maintain flight level 230.
We're going to drop back down to 4,500. Call this just kind of scrubbed as far as our destination here, getting here in a short period of time. We've got 3 hours. We've already been airborne for over an hour.
With the headwinds that we were experiencing, there was no way to fly direct to Telluride, so we made a fuel stop in Arapahoe, Nebraska.
Flaps at 100. Watch that airspeed.
Airspeed's at 89.
Check out how much Jake is moving the yoke. It's hard to tell by the video, but the crosswinds here are insane.
We're good, baby. We got this.
Oh my god.
Whoa!
That was crazy.
Woo! Okay, right aileron, right into the wind. Okay, flaps at 50. Mixture back to the X. We're going to leave that boost pump on. And a long back taxi.
After we fueled the airplane, we loaded everyone back up and put the poodles' oxygen masks on. They are by 4 Paws Aviation, and we'll link them below in the description. A constant flow of oxygen is delivered to the little noses, and then we can zip them up. Jake is noting the VFR flight following instructions given by ATC.
There we go. Repo traffic, Cirrus 329 Golf Echo, departing to the west. Repo traffic. All right, 2,700 feet. So we are 500 AGL, flaps, caps, and maps.
Okay, so what I'm trying to explain to Lene is that the gusting winds were coming from the right-hand side of the airplane, and that reduced our rotation speed for a second, and we lifted off the ground, and then I could feel that our rotation speed dropped at that point. And so we put the airplane back close to the runway and used what's called ground effect to increase the speed of the airplane along the ground and then take off slowly.
All right, let's let this beast climb.
Because we're flying at higher than 12,500 feet, we're required by the feds to breathe pure oxygen. And it actually makes you feel a lot better when you get to your destination. For this flight, I was not instrument rated yet, but I was able to legally fly the instrument approach because it was all in VFR conditions that day. So I had rehearsed this several times with our instructors back at home, and nothing could really prepare me for this except for feeling it for the first time. If you notice that Telluride Airport is on a plateau, and the winds this day were coming out of 180. That's runway 9 straight ahead. So 180 is directly to the right, perpendicular to the runway, and the winds are coming up that mountain, and then they're swirling over the runway. But before we could get to the runway, on that entire approach, you could feel extreme wind shear. And that was creating like roughly a plus 10 knots, negative 10 knots on our indicated airspeed. So the airplane was overspeed, underspeed, overspeed, underspeed. So we got over the runway, and that's when we started to feel those swirling winds. And those winds are trying to flip us upside down. So I do what's called a go around. I go full power, and we decide we're going to give this another shot, but from the opposite or opposing runway, which is 27, standing for 270 degrees. So we fly over downtown Telluride, and then we try it on 27. And we come into 27 like a standard approach, 100% flaps, and again, the winds are just way too strong. 25 knots from our left-hand side this time, and it did not feel stabilized at all. We were getting tossed around. The airplane felt like it was going to flip over. So we decided to do another go-around and try runway 9 one more time. So we got onto RNAV 9, got as stabilized as we possibly could, and this time we only used 50% flaps. At 50% flaps, you have to increase your approach speed by about 5 knots, but it allows for the airplane to have less lift, and that less lift allowed those swirling winds or updrafts and downdrafts to not flip the airplane over, and we were able to finally land the plane safely. So later on that same day, another airplane our size came into Telluride and got flipped over. Everyone made it out okay, but what we've learned is that there's mountain flying, and then there's flying into Telluride.
That was the craziest landing we've ever had. Jake is still not okay. I'm not okay. Telluride is a very special town. There are fantastic restaurants, cocktail bars, really beautiful hotels, and we love the mix of people that come there. There'll be people that drive in these Sprinter vans that they deck out on the inside to ski out of, and it almost looks like a little apartment. Then you have the uber wealthy that are flying in on their private jets. Speaking of, our 10-minute taxi ride from Telluride Airport to our Airbnb cost $150. This is our Airbnb in Telluride, and it is great. There's this huge island when you walk in. A stacked stone wall. This great little living room. All of our ski stuff is right there. And a fireplace. And then we are right in downtown. And then the room. Pip is in the bathroom. I put her in there because we're about to leave. She is not happy. And this is the bathroom. She's gonna run out. Hi. Hey, buddy. Gorgeous place.
We got lucky with the skiing conditions. It was snowing the day before, the night before, and then almost all day the day that we were riding, it was snowing. So it was fresh powder, it was fantastic. Linnea's learning, so she was with her instructor all day. I broke off and found a couple of bros, and we hit the slopes together almost all day. Fresh powder, some tree runs, it was a blast. And with Linnea, we put the GoPro on her and had some fun.
Is that better?
Yeah.
We're gonna watch this 80-minute video of you trying to get down.
Waitress at Kazahana Restaurant suggested we come back to Telluride in summer, explaining it was absolutely gorgeous, and we are so glad we took her up on that offer. So these are a few clips of our trip back in summer and fall, and while we were there, we decided to climb Mount Snuffles. It was absolutely beautiful, and we met a lot of people on the way. We also saw the elk migrating. There were hundreds of them, and you could hear them calling out to each other at night, which was a pretty cool thing to fall asleep to. The drive to our cabin was on this crazy winding gravel road that was four-wheel drive only. This is our cabin, and we ended up renting it out twice. Pip is very excited to be here. It's in the middle of a meadow with mountains all around you. You would see weather come in, you see sunrise, sunsets, a ton of wildlife. There were deer constantly running through there, and it was very peaceful. And then we got to explore more of the town. That's Butcher and the Baker. It's a favorite coffee place of ours, and they sell bakery, and there's a corner flower shop. Back to our winter ski trip. Here we are driving to Telluride Airport to fly home.
There's a male. These horns.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
See him up there?
Yeah.
We are just about to take off from Telluride Airport. They are fueling. Pups are ready. Let's see, where are you guys? I'm gonna zip them up as soon as we turn on the oxygen. Baxter's scared like usual.
Yeah, hi there. This is Jake with 9 Golf Echo. One of the linemen forgot the chocks underneath the airplane. Could you please ask them to come on out and just pull? They forgot one side only.
Typically, you fuel up the airplane, you load it up, you unchock it, and then you take off. In this case, we were already loaded up, we were sitting in it, and then we called in for fuel, and they forgot the chocks. No big deal. We called them, and they took care of it, and we were on our way.
Yeah, it's a Premier 1 Alpha. Telluride traffic, Cirrus 329 Golf Echo, back taxi, runway 9. Telluride traffic. Do you notice that? How much throttle?
Telluride traffic. .com 2411 is leaving the ramp. We've got the Premier in sight.
At 9,000 feet of elevation, the air is a lot thinner, so you need a lot more throttle just to taxi the airplane.
You know, it was foolish, as I should have done my run-up there.
A run-up is when you increase the RPM of the engine and bring it up to operating temperature. Then you do a MEG drop and a electronic ignition system drop and check all your indications.
9,000, so we're going to look for...
Telluride traffic, citation taxiing to the outside.
9,500 is what we're looking for. It's going to be a long rollout. Here we go. Okay, looking for 9,500. We're going to do runway heading. Manifold pressure is good. Fuel flow
Tango
is good.
X-ray, are you up?
We are up.
It's going to be about 15 minutes before they can get out there. They got to park a few planes.
All right, 9,500. But the laps, caps, and maps. And now we can chill.
600.
Look at how beautiful this is.
Yeah.
Take her nice and easy.
Telluride is a non-towered airport, so it's considered a pilot-controlled airport.
Is the de-ice pad where that stairs are past those buildings, or is it just right here at the edge of the ramp?
Look at that, babe. That's gorgeous.
Yeah.
No, keep on going. Football field's linked. You'll see it on the left.
Okay, beyond those two white buildings up there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. And Telluride.com 2411 is entering active 27 via departure to the northwest. Telluride.
Okay, watch for traffic on there.
Okay.
At a pilot-controlled airport, you're just talking to other pilots. And you're stating your intentions, then you're stating your actions, and that typically makes for a very safe airspace.
Telluride traffic, Cirrus 329 Golf Echo, departing airspace to the northwest. See ya.
In hindsight, we should have left Telluride with full fuel. The airplane climbed no problem in the nice dense cold air, and with the tailwinds that day, we could have gotten back to Wisconsin direct without a fuel stop. Arapahoe is another non-towered airport without its own ATIS or AWOS, which is weather reporting. So we picked up the ATIS from the closest airport, which is about 20 miles away, and we used that as a basis. And then we overflew the field, checked the wind socks for the true conditions on this field, and then chose our runway selections based off of that.
That's 7 only. Okay, so it's very little winds. So then we could do 1-5. Let's do 1-5.
Okay.
Arapahoe traffic, Cirrus 329 Golf Echo, entering left downwind 15, Arapahoe traffic.
All right, so bleed off some speed a little bit. We're going to extend our downwind, right? Because then now we don't have to worry about a back taxi. Okay, let's put this bug right there. There we go. We're at our pattern altitude, so flaps at 50 right there. There we go. Trim it out. Watch that airspeed. Looking for 104.
Arapahoe is another non-towered or pilot-controlled airport. So all we're doing is just announcing ourselves over the radio with our intentions, and that way any other pilots in the area know what we're doing and why we're doing it.
329 Golf Echo, left base, 15, Arapahoe traffic.
Okay, watch that airspeed. Okay, a little crosswind from the left. No, I'm sorry, from the right. There we go. Flap operating range, pitch down.
500.
Power up. Full rich, boost pumps on. Landing checklist is complete. Okay, let's shoot for 20% power. Nice approach. Feels good, huh?
Yeah.
A little different than last time here.
Oh my god.
Gonna bleed off a little bit of speed. We're at 93 knots. Short runway.
You'll see us yawning often, and that is not because we're tired, but because we're trying to get our ears to pop, especially as we're descending, because the air pressure is increasing. So by yawning, it's an easy way to get our ears to equalize.
There we go.
Yeah, so this is the right one to pick, right? I mean,
Yeah.
It's just fun.
Oh, I didn't know that there was a sock there.
I didn't know there was either. I only saw that one. See how
That one's easier to find. And yeah, you're right. This runway is a little bit better. Not bad, huh?
We like stopping at these small airports for fuel because one, the fuel tends to be a little cheaper. Two, typically there's no one there, so we can get in and out really quickly. Today was a little different. It was a Sunday. These older retired guys hang out at this airport on Sundays, and they actually recognized us from the year before. We recognized some of them, chatted for a little bit, and then we were on our way.
A mistake we made here was we didn't zip up the poodles' oxygen helmets, and that becomes a very difficult thing later on.
Now switch that camera. Well, wait till we're on the runway, right?
Yeah.
He said that the last time that this was paved was 1992.
Oh my God.
This is doing really good for
Yeah.
being 30 years old.
I guess when you don't use salt and.
Right. Isn't that crazy? Difference that makes? Repo traffic, Cirrus 329 Golf Echo, departing runway 15 to the east. Repo traffic. Okay. Let's do an expedited run up here. Ready? Let's go 1700. EIS, looking for a drop. Good. Looking for a rise. Good. Meg. Looking for a drop. And looking for a rise. Good. Temps look good. We're charging the batteries. Voltage is acceptable. Not bad on the oxygen.
Yeah.
550 pounds that whole time.
Oh, you have it on
Bareback.
already?
Yeah. Okay, we are ready to go. 17.5 on the bug. 135. Altimeter should be the same. Okay, ready? Boost pump on, mixture full rich. 50% flaps. Lots of right rudder. Looking for 73. Ooh. There we go. Fuel flow looks good. Manifold pressure looks good. Looking for 2800.
Lene and I practiced something referred to as a sterile cockpit, and that's when during takeoff and landing, the only thing you're to discuss in the aircraft is things directly related to the flight. This reduces distraction and increases safety in the two most dangerous portions of the flight. A friend and mentor with over 28,000 hours of experience taught me this a few years ago, and I think it's something that every pilot should practice.
Okay, 2800. Flaps up.
600.
Caps is available. Okay, so now you know how to true up our nav, so go ahead and do that.
Okay, so
Yep.
I don't remember. It's
Yep.
direct. Okay, and then we're going to KUES.
Yep.
So enter.
Yep.
And then activate yes.
Yep.
And then right away to nav.
Yep. There you go. Autopilot on. Indicate airspeed. Climb at 135. Good. Our highway in the sky is up there at 17.5. So now we just monitor our temperatures, right? Okay. You want to put on our oxygen?
Yep.
So I'm going to go with flight level. Well, D10 and then we'll switch over to flight level. There you go. You feel it?
Yep.
Okay, poodle oxygen turned on yet?
No. Should I turn it on?
Well, try to zip them up.
Yeah, by the time I zip them up, we'll be higher.
Right.
Hey, watch my knee for me.
Yeah.
I'm always afraid I'll Okay, buddy. I'm gonna close you. Come here.
There's a good reason that I'm leaning awkwardly back towards the dogs instead of like sitting on my knees and turning around. And the reason is the airplane seats have this hollow core aluminum.
Crush cores.
Oh, crush cores? So what it would do if I put a ton of pressure in like a pinpointed spot is it would put a divot into the seat.
Yeah, so the seats are, because they're airplane seats, everything's about weight, right? So in order to make a soft cushion as light as possible, these seats are made out of these aluminum cores, and then they have a thin layer of foam on top of that. So if you put a knee on that, you can actually bust or burst the aluminum core in that one spot.
It's like impossible for me to contort my body any differently. Pip, don't fight me, please. Sorry. Oh, I don't have the strength. I can't float. My hair is getting caught and shut. Okay.
Yeah, that's not going to work moving
No,
forward. You're going to have to just zip
impossible.
them up on the ground. We're climbing nicely, though. 1,500 feet per minute now. All right, so these boxes are highway in the sky. That's what they're referred to as. That's kind of our path, right? That's our navigation path right there. All right, so back over here, we're currently at 17,500 feet. We're at an indicated airspeed, so the airplane thinks it's moving through the air at 140 knots, but it's actually moving through the air at 186 knots. And then we've got a 44 knot tailwind. So we're actually putting out about 221 knots, which is roughly ground speed of 255 miles an hour, something like that. So we're making really good time. We're going to be at Waukesha in only an hour 22 minutes. All right, so we're at 17,500 feet. So in order to get down to 2,000 feet at Waukesha, we got to start our descent here in Iowa. So it's coming up.
Three two niner Golf Echo Waukesha Tower at wind 340 at 15 gust 28. Would you like 36 or 28?
Let's take 28, please.
9 Golf Echo, roger, left downwind runway 28, wind 310 at 14 gust 28. Clear the way.
Clear to land, we'll do the left downwind 28. 329 Golf Echo, thanks, Kilo. Kilo, is it too late to switch to right traffic for 36?
Affirmative, super late. I'm just kidding. Niner Golf Echo, you can change left traffic 36, wind 330 at 17 gust 28. Clear to land.
Left traffic 36 for 329 Golf Echo, thanks.
Our home airport is a Class Delta tower controlled airport, so that was ATC just telling us what to do.
With general aviation, you're responsible for cleaning the inside and the outside of your aircraft as well as maintaining it. So we'd like to do that right away when we get back from a trip. Welcome to our new YouTube channel, Elevate, where we take you along on our general aviation adventures with our two poodles. Please subscribe and we will be coming out with some more videos of our upcoming adventures.